In this video, Gwen Southgate reads passages about Britain's child evacuees during World War II from her memoir, Street Chronicles.
Evacuation, Part 4. For a few glorious school-free weeks after Evacuation Day, my brothers and I had the time of our lives exploring the new, exciting things to be found on a working farm. Once we put behind us the trauma of leaving home and being auctioned to our new parents. For the Goulds were busy young newlyweds who lived in a picturesque old thatched farmhouse on an isolated farm. Farm Life and Its Surprises, pages 146 to 47. Mrs. Gould taught me so much: how to churn butter, where hens like to lay their eggs in the hedges and odd spots around the farmyard, and how to collect an egg without breaking it. I loved it when the egg was still warm from the hen's body. But although Mrs. Gould had showed me how to reach under a hen that was still sitting on an egg, I never mustered the courage to put my hand under that clucking, scolding bundle of feathers with its nasty, pointy beak. After a few tries, I'd even learned how to milk a cow. I never fully conquered my fear of the threatening hoofs, but I loved the smell of the warm milk and the sound it made, spurting into the can when the can was near empty. The Gould's cows were various mixes of black and white, and I discovered to my surprise that all cows were she's, and that they really did say moo, just like the book said. I had never known whether this was simply a fanciful fiction, and it probably meant that sheep said ba too, but the Goulds had no sheep for me to check this out. We had two favourite spots on that farm: the hill where we played King of the Castle, and a minnow-filled stream. However, unbeknownst to us, the hill was a turfed-over mound of cow droppings. Many months of cowshed scrapings, as we discovered one day when Derek climbed to an overhanging tree limb and jumped. He went right through the crust and found himself in you-know-what, up to his armpits. Bertie and I managed to pull him out without ourselves going through the crust, and a very smelly threesome, we slunk back to the house. We cleaned up as best we could under the cold water pump, which was the only source of water other than the horse trough or the duck pond. But poor Mrs. Gould, she had to get buckets of hot water going for baths in front of the fire so that we'd be fit for human company, even farmhouse company that was accustomed to some pretty pungent odours. The hill was declared out of bounds after this episode, but though this was probably unnecessary, it had lost some of its charm now that we knew what lay beneath that innocent-looking grassy surface. The stream was a much cleaner source of amusement, and it was pure delight for us city kids. I had read about streams and brooks, but I could never quite picture what they were really like. My experience of moving water had been the breaking waves of the sea and the slow-moving, swirling River Thames with its broad expanses of mud at low tide. This little rippling stream was so different. About 6 inches deep, it was crystal clear, not brown and muddy like the Thames, and it didn't taste salty like the sea. The lack of tides was also a puzzle, but I somehow knew that I was unlikely to get an answer from either of the busy Goulds, so I didn't bother to ask.